Hey there, I'm attorney Chuck Schierer. You know my law firm, Schierer Ritchie, right here in East Peoria, 839-2024, or on the web at srtriallawyers.com. Now, I came across this study last week that kind of shocked me. 40% of Americans cannot name one right from the First Amendment. Now, that's not you. I know that. And of course, after you watch this video, it's not going to be you at all. And in fact, you're going to be able to name all five. And that's right, there are five, and you can think about them right now and see if you can get them before I tell you. But essentially, let's run through those five. Number one, Congress cannot establish a religion. They can't do it. And two, you have a freedom to exercise your religion within some limitations. We'll talk about those briefly. There is the obvious one and the one that most people know, the freedom of speech and press. There is the right to assemble peacefully, of course. And then there's the fifth one that most people don't know, and you get bonus points if you do know, and that is the freedom to petition the government. So that's not really used anymore, but I suppose it could be relevant in certain circumstances. All right, so let's first talk about the establishment of religion. Most people kind of know this as the separation between church and state. That's really sort of the modern view. The Everson versus Board of Education, the Supreme Court decision from a New Jersey case, that is what most of us view as the Establishment Clause. That separation issue is far more complex than what I'm going to even talk about here. But the bottom line is the government cannot establish their own religion, okay? They can't support one. They also can't prefer one to the other. Okay, so you can't get special privileges or rights for being a Christian versus being a Muslim, etc. So keep that in mind. That is a protected right under the First Amendment. The free exercise of religion is the second part of the First Amendment. And now that has its own limitations as well, in that it does limit on the practices, not your opinions and your beliefs. You can have whatever opinion and belief that you want. The government can't punish you for it, but they can limit the practices. And as you're going to see with all constitutional rights, there's going to be a balancing act done by the courts. So, you know, if you belong to the Church of Crack Cocaine, that's not going to work. Certainly you can believe that, and the court can't punish you for believing that and worshiping crack cocaine. But once you possess it, they can step in and say you have broken the law. So bigamy, human sacrifice, that kind of stuff. Again, the government can impact you on the practices, not necessarily your beliefs. Free to believe whatever the heck you want. Freedom of speech and press, most people know this, but what I think a lot of people get confused on is that this is a freedom against government action. This is not freedom. You can't say whatever you want about your neighbor. You can't say whatever you would like and not get fired. This does not protect you from getting sued for the things that you say, or fired for the things that you say by your private employer. So again, remember the First Amendment is protecting you against actions of the government, not of a private citizen or a private entity. And the government can limit you in some regard, right? You know, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Most people know that example. And you can't threaten anybody, you know, to their face if a reasonable person thought that you were going to assault them. So if someone was in your face saying, "I'm gonna kill you," that can still be assault. You can still be punished for that. So keep in mind, the First Amendment is about protecting you against the government actions, not against everyone. And you're not free to do exactly anything that you want and say anything that you want without consequence. The right to peacefully assemble is number 4. And this is one that we've kind of seen in the news in the last month or so. Of course, you can have whatever crazy beliefs you want, and if you want to get together with other crazy people and hold up crazy signs and chant crazy things, you are free to do that. But you must do that in a peaceful manner. And once you get beyond doing something peaceful, then the government can come in and regulate. Remember, a balancing act. We're going to balance whatever crazy thoughts you have and whatever things you want to say versus how this is going to impact society as a whole. The final one is the right to petition. And if you got that, you get bonus points. But the right to petition your government, this goes way back, in hundreds of years ago. That's how you spoke to your government. This is before social media, right? This is before democratic politics are the way they are now. Now you can organize and petition your community, and you can organize against a certain belief or politician or whatever. But back in the day, you were allowed to petition to the government, and you would fill something out, and you would file that petition. It would go up to your congressman, your senator, whatever. They would file that with the National Registrar, and ultimately that's how they understood officially what the commoners, the people, believed. But again, that's a constitutional right, but not necessarily one that is active today. But now you are in the 60% because now you know at least one, you probably now know 4 or 5 of those rights protected by the First Amendment. Now, these are heavy issues, and if you have issues that maybe aren't so heavy, you can give our law firm a call, Schierer and Ritchie at 839-2024, or you can find us on the web at srtriallawyers.com. Have a great day.